All right, welcome, folks. It is Matrix Live. And before we go on, I want to bring you closer, a bit closer still, because wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, I want you to know that where I am, it's Friday night and we're doing demos, and this is Matrix Live. So without further ado, we will dive right in to give you some peek on what's coming up. We're going to be talking about new group call experience in Element Web. We're going to do WYSIWYG editors. We're going to talk about device managers. We're going to talk about threads. We haven't talked about threads for a little while. We're going to talk about Mjolnir for all. We're going to talk about Matrix Public Archives. And we might talk about Thirdroom. So let's see. First up, Robin, are you out there?
I am, yes. So hello. On behalf of the VoIP team at Element, I'd like to present the new group call experience in Element Web. So if you've ever tried to use Element for a group call before, you'll know that it falls back to a Jitsi widget. And the user experience of this is less than ideal. And it's also a bit sad that we're using Jitsi since it's a centralized service that uses XMPP rather than Matrix. And so this is why we've been on a mission this year to improve VoIP in Element, starting with the video rooms experiment in Element Web. And now we're excited to be finally bringing native group calls to the app using Element Call as the underlying technology. So here's what it looks like. If a group call has been started in a room, you'll get a notification with the prompt to join. And you'll also see a tile in the room's timeline with details such as who's currently active on the call duration, and a prompt to join. And now we're taken to the calls lobby where we can make sure our camera and microphone are good to go, and then we can enter. And what you're seeing here is the Element Call app, which has been embedded inside Element Web in the form of a widget, using your very own Matrix account to connect to the call. And unlike Jitsi, this call is fully decentralized. So you'll be directly connected to the other participants using peer-to-peer routing, and you can also call others over federation. You also get all the niceties of Element Call, including spatial audio, drag and drop rearrangement of participants, and more. And so once all participants leave the call, you will see call gets automatically ended. And yeah, so starting a new call is just as easy. You just have to click the video call button. Once you start it, others in the room will be prompted to join you. So this feature is still in development, but we'd love to get more people's eyes on it. So if you're interested in trying it out, you can do that on develop.element.io and nightly by going to labs and enabling the new group call experience, and then setting up permissions in the rooms you'd like to use it in. And in the future, we'll be bringing this to the mobile apps as well, using it to replace our legacy one-on-one calls. So thank you for listening. We're excited to be making calls in Element a more unified experience.
It's awesome.
Yeah, super stuff.
Super pretty.
We should mention very briefly that this was very kindly sponsored by a wonderful, lovely customer who we love very much, but also don't want to be named, although they're also very reputable. And so thank you if you're listening for funding us to build this out. And also, Robin was being too modest. Did you see how rapidly it launched? As in, you wouldn't know it's a widget. It doesn't feel like an iPhone because the iPhone is like being cached behind the scenes. So it suddenly springs into the interaction immediately. So if you haven't tried it, it feels super snappy and like completely native, which is how it should be. Sorry, Neil.
Not at all, not at all. That's a fantastic demo. Right, Andy, WYSIWYG editors.
Oh yeah, so we've been working on a rich text editor that will work on the across the different Element clients with a shared code base between all the 3 different clients. And I'm going to hand straight over to Arno, who's going to demo what that looks like on the mobile clients.
Yeah, so I'm gonna share my screen. Looks like it works. So what we did for this project is that we create a library in Rust that handles a composer, and we have some bindings for the mobile platform, and everything is set up here. We declare all the API that we want to use from the Rust to to the iOS and Android applications, and we have some Rust code that actually bind this to our Rust library. And to show you a bit how it looks on the iOS and the Android implementation, it's pretty similar. We have a very big file that is auto-generated by UniFFI, and that gives all the interface we just declared in our file are available in the mobile application, and we just use them in some code that we write on top of that, and we handle all the action that a user might want to do on a WYSIWYG editor. So I can show you, not that, but the Android file is pretty much the same kind of thing, and we have also some functions that are built on top of those bindings to make it happen on both platforms. And now I'm going to showcase to you how it works. So these are example apps on both iOS and Android, and we can select things and apply some formatting to them. And for example, we also have some debugging tools that allows us to actually see our document object model looks, and it's pretty much the same on both platforms. We can format in the same way, and these pieces are currently in integration on the Element iOS and Element Android app, so you'll be able to play with it pretty soon through a lab setting. And that's about it.
Yeah, and then I'm going to switch really quickly to Florian to have a quick look at what it looks like on web.
Yes, thank you, Andy. I will share my screen as well. Perfect. Yes, here we have a demo app on matrix.github.io matrix WYSIWYG. It's not currently what will be used in the Element Web. It will be more polished. Here it will kind of proof of concept that our library can work in a web environment. So I can type something that's called capybara are awesome. You can also use bold actions, use italics, line breaks. If there is also list option, it's still whip, so be careful. It can have some action which is not expected. And like in the iOS and Android, we have our models, and also test case, which allow us to have debugging tools.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So yeah, just to say, we're working right now to integrate that into the Element clients, and as someone said, it'll be in lab soon. Also, we didn't show you undo redo there, but undo and redo work as well, so it's pretty cool.
It's looking absolutely awesome, and also we should say thank you to the same very kind sponsor who's been funneling money in to make that happen. It's almost like there was a deadline coming up. Awesome, well done, guys. Whoa, who next?
Was that a debut from Arnaud and Florian, by the way?
I think so.
Florian's first meeting.
Oh wow, that is impressive.
Eric, you're a veteran. Are you
Yes,
there?
hopefully.
Are you ready to go? No pressure.
I'm ready. All right, so today I'm showing off a second look at the Matrix Public Archive, this time with a room directory. So you can see.
Hey, Eric, just because some people might not know what it is. What is the Matrix Public Archive?
It's a way to view your public and world readable matrix rooms. So I can go to a room and see the historical content going back to when it was created. So you can see even now we can change the date as you scroll around and the URL changes. And if we go back, we have back to the room directory, and we're using the matrix org gradient instead of the black one there. So it feels a lot more lively. You can paginate just like you would on the normal room directory search. and jump into the rooms which we already saw. That's it.
Amazing.
Cool. What's next, Eric? What's next for the project?
We definitely want to get a public deployment of this so everyone can try it out. And you can also follow along with progress on the repo. Just share the repo page. And we have some issues and like a milestone V whatever alpha beta on what to see first. So we definitely want to improve things like being able to jump to the next and previous activity to make them a bit more seamless. Like this is nice, but once you reach the end, we want to make that a lot better as well.
All right, thank you. All right, Jess and Nixie, I think you're up. Are you up?
Yeah, I got the screen share going ahead of time this time. It's working now. So we're Trust and Safety. We do moderation. We make tools for moderation. The emphasis behind making Mjolnir for all is we want our best moderation tool to be accessible to everyone. At the moment, you have to run a TypeScript application all the time to have your own Mjolnir. You need an account that doesn't have rate limiting, which means you need to run your own home server, which is not fun. And as well, this came up as a step towards distributed reputation, where we allow people to filter what they see of Matrix via shared reputational scoring of users' home servers, etc. So I wanted to start from a completely blank canvas to show that this is indeed extremely easy to set up. I'm going to type one of those in wrong, aren't I? There you go. Lovely. The biggest pinch point at the moment is that it's a widget that goes into the room you want to protect. The long-term goal is to stick it into an integration manager. Let's go for you have your own room that you would like to protect. You add in our nice little widget. You need to give it the ability to see that you are indeed a room admin. You need it to be able to invite the new Mjolnir to your room. You need it to be able to give admin to your new Mjolnir, and you need it to be able to actually verify that you're not lying about being a room admin. And boom. And as you can see there, we have the widget has changed the power level of the prospective new Mjolnir, invited the new Mjolnir, Mjolnir has joined, and Mjolnir has changed server ACLs to set a baseline. Nuxie may want to go over how that works on the back end, what the widget's talking to.
Yeah, so what we've just done is we've created a new Mjolnir. We've created you a management room for that Mjolnir, where you'll be able to send commands just as you would if it was a normal host of Mjolnir. And we've created your policy room as well. And that is basically where any of your bans will go, and they'll appear as policies, and you'll be able to share them with your friends or other communities, so you can inform each other about people who are being disruptive or whatever.
How is it provisioned, the Mjolnir?
Well,
the app service?
It's using the app service, so it can basically create a virtual user that just uses the client server API as normal. And the reason why we're doing this and not just creating like a bunch of bots that are managed by some kind of service is because that would be quite resource intensive. Those bots would have to sync, and we'd also have to manage them as like individual processes, which is not great. But instead, because we've got an app service, it's only one process. We get a transactional API that pushes events to us directly from the home server, so we don't have to worry about syncing. And it also means that we can get around our rate limiting requirement fairly easily because it's just a one-line config to disable rate limits on the app service. Now that does come with a risk because you'd be giving users access to a rate limitless service, but we have introduced some practical limitations to make sure that that doesn't get out of hand. So there'll be a limited number of protected rooms each user can have, and things like that. Finally, you might think this is like a huge paradigm like change, right? Because Mjolnir was a bot, not an app service, but it turns out that we can use the Matrix App Service Bridge library, which quite a lot of the bridge infrastructure uses, and that's based upon the Matrix Bot SDK that Mjolnir already uses. So it's almost fairly transparent just to install that library and get hacking straight away. Now, we have had to make some changes, but that's given us an opportunity to like refactor Mjolnir for the better, and we keep that momentum open, just make things easier to tackle some of the pain points and limitations Mjolnir has, such as the command handler and spaces management. Yeah, back to you, Jess.
Right. So the known limitations at the moment is it can protect end-to-end encrypted rooms, but it can't read the text of messages in them yet. But this, as I am led to believe, is a flag on Matrix Bot SDK that you just need to use. Reactive protections don't currently work, as in if someone is sending 5 events in 1 second, Mjolnir won't kick in and decide that is flooding. But that is what I'm working on the other half today. Commands that need an admin account, like disabling a user on your home server. Obviously, you can't do that at the moment because it's not your own home server. And yeah, I think that's... Oh, and it's currently a widget, which is kind of ugly, but as I said, I'm led to believe the integration manager is having some work done on it at the moment, and we plan to use that. And in closing, if you would like to hear more about this and nominate yourself to do a closed beta test with us, please join the room, hopefully on your screens.
Hey.
Well done, both. I know a lot of work's gone into that.
Oh, so much work.
All right, final. Matthew, do you want to talk about Thirdroom?
Wasn't there somebody else? What about, oh, Midland's pre-recorded. Okay, yeah, very quickly. Let me just do the thing where I screw up my screen sharing. 1 second. It's possible that some people haven't seen the Thirdroom stuff. If you haven't, you've been missing out. But we launched it last week. They'll do a Matrix Live about it in the nearish future. But just wanted to give people a quick taste of what we do when we show this off to people and they get excited. And let me screen share. Where is my sheet? Oh, there it is. Cool. Oh, I'm just going to crank up my frame rate because otherwise it's going to look jerky and crap. So I'm going to go at 15 frames a second. Now, in reality, it runs much faster than this, but I'll do the best I can on the screen share, and hopefully you can see it about now. So this is Terra 1. If anybody else is on Thirdroom and wants to come and heckle me on Terra 1 during the demo, please feel free. But I'm going to look around a bit and move out into the wider world here. And so there's first of all, let me turn on statistics so we can see that this is doing 120 frames a second up there on the top right. So this is crazy fast performance, not that you can see with the frame rate over Jitsi, of something that looks so much better than you'd expect inside a web browser. If we go and create some objects like a mirror ball, as the mirror goes and rolls around the place, its reflections will actually change, not quite as smoothly as they should, to reflect the different surroundings. We can go and create some black mirror balls. We've got our physics engine here, where we can go and pick these things up, and we can throw them around the place. We can create crates of different sizes. where we can trap ourselves inside the crate by accident, or we can accidentally delete them. X now deletes things like that. Oh, who's that? There's Robin. Hello, Robin. Fancy meeting you here. And you can see we've got the animated avatars running around. You can see, oh, there goes Robin. I can do critical things like jump on crates and pick them up whilst I'm standing on them. That has, if I don't screw this up, the unexpected side effect that I levitate. And you can see me trying to levitate there. I need a bigger crate. I'll create another crate and go and jump on it like this. And there we go. If I go up into the heavens, it's a bit of a bug that you can do this, but it's still kind of fun. What else can we show? I'm going to throw that at Robin just to be nasty. We can get the overlay and say, hello world in here. Another thing we added was the ability to do portals. So if we want to skip into a totally different room, so I'm going to go into UK City 3 here. I go and click on the portal. We've now got a loading spinner, so that it's sucking down 54 megabytes of JLTF in here, because I've never been to Zone 3 of UK City before. Go and enter the world, and here I am. And we've got these beautiful shadows flying around. We've got the ability to climb up walls if you run at something and you jump. And it's basically a lot of fun to show this off to people. If you haven't been playing on Virtual Worlds or Matrix, you should. So that is where Thirdroom is at right now. If you haven't read the long blog post about it, go to thirdroom.org, thirdroom.io/preview and read it, because it's cool. That's it.
Okay, let's wrap up. Right, this is going to be an interesting one for Tim to edit. Thanks everyone for sticking with Matrix Live.